rocks falling. I see the like slate. It's like near the edge of a mountain. I'm watching. I'm walking with a group of people, and we're watching goats walk parallel to us on a higher course above the path.
So you're on a mountain trail?
Yes.
And you're there with a group of others, you said.
Yes.
Look around you. Who are these others?
There are other seekers, other monks in my group. Women, mostly 20s.
So they're all males?
All the ones I noticed.
Uh-huh. And then go ahead.
I think I'm getting the impression there might be women, but in my group, women.
Do you see other groups as well?
No, I just know that they're coming.
Oh, okay. And then you said they're dressed as monks?
Yeah, there's different colors. There's red and yellow. I don't know what I'm wearing. I'm just wearing a simple white, just a white robe, but I see mostly red and yellow.
So bring your attention to yourself, and you perceive yourself to have a body.
Yes.
And it's male or female?
It's male. I'm short. I'm very brown. Small. Very small. Simple.
And you're wearing some kind of a white robe?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything on your head?
No, I don't have any hair.
Oh, no hair either. Okay. No hair and nothing on your head. And then how about any jewelry?
No, I'm just carrying some provisions. Just a simple, maybe leather type sack. It goes over my back. It's kind of like a pod-shaped sack.
Okay. And do these other folks that you're with have the same kind of packs on?
Yeah, basically the same. Some people are packed really heavy or some a little lighter.
And look down at your feet. Is there anything on your feet?
Just sandals.
Sandals, okay. And then what's the environment like there? What's the temperature or the weather like?
It seems like what I'd call a normal day. It's not too hot. It's pretty clear air. It's not humid at all. A little breeze blowing. There's not much vegetation.
And as you look from your vantage point on that mountain, what are you looking? How far up or down can you see any kind of a vista or anything like that?
It's like we're just starting. It's just like the foothills, or it's almost like a quarry where there's it's elevated, but it's just like a precursor to the harder part of the journey.
Okay, so you feel like you're at the start of a big journey, huh?
Yeah.
You're doing beautifully. Well, what else about this scene stands out to you, or do you notice?
Just that we're going. We're going.
And how are you feeling about that?
Excited. So excited.
Oh, okay.
But at this stage of the journey, it's more just going through the motions.
Uh-huh.
Feel myself get excited.
Okay.
drawn to the place.
And
then
do you have a sense of where you're going?
The peak, the holy peak.
Oh, the holy peak. Oh, excellent.
All going.
Okay. And so there's going to be a couple groups of you making a pilgrimage up to the mountaintop, huh?
Hundreds and hundreds.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds. Wow. Okay, it's growing.
Everybody.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot of people. Excellent.
Anyone that's not bound. The people that are bound aren't able to go. The people that are householders and bound with their lives.
Oh, okay. But you're in the priesthood? Is that what you would call it, or?
Well, not that formal. It's not
Okay.
that
Oh, okay.
more of a incipient. It's like maybe Brahmin.
Okay.
Like a precursor to a monk, but we're dressed. We've dressed this way for a while. We've practiced this way for a while. It's new. There's still a tradition. It's almost like we're forming the tradition as we repeat what we're doing, as we shave our heads, as we put these robes on. It's like we're creating the tradition.
Okay. So you're part of a movement, it sounds like.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. And what are you going to find when you get to the top of the peak? Do you know, or do you have some kind of a goal, or is it they're just going to gather there?
We're going to see the Buddha.
Oh, okay.
We've heard about this. Followers already, but this is something special. We don't know what, but there's something.
Something special about that guy?
Yeah, something special about this particular meeting as opposed
Oh, okay.
to, even being called to other similar meetings, other hearing about him.
Beautiful. Is there anything else you notice about this scene that you want to mention?
No.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's close out that scene, and then let's drift and float to a day, or let's go ahead and just condense time forward to when you get to the top of that peak, and now you're there. Tell me what's happening.
It seems strange. There's more vegetation there almost. It's like very organic. And there's a space for us. It's like there's no limit.
there's no women, huh?
No limit.
Oh, there's no limit. Oh.
There are women there.
Sorry, I thought you said women. I mean limit. Whatever.
As we keep coming in, it's like the space expands to fit us.
Oh, okay.
No limit. It's transdimensional as we arrive. I don't notice any gateway or anything. It's just fluid. Like first there was a mountain, and then there was a garden, and the garden is the mountain, but we can all fit. We're all there. There's no capacity limit.
So beautiful. You're doing great. Tell me about this garden that you see.
I sense it more than see it. There's flowers, but it's more that feeling in the air that earlier where I said there was no humidity. Here it's like there's humidity. There's a fullness to the air. Everything's alive in a different way. It's full in a capacity. It's more. I don't want to say it's more dense because there's a lightness to it, but it's more densely packed. There's more information available in less space here.
Sounds like a beautiful place. And then are more people still arriving?
There's more, but I'll say now at this point we're all here.
Okay. And as you look around you, how big is that gathering?
It's thousands. There's thousands.
And then is everybody dressed kind of like you? Most of them?
Mostly, there's a large variety. There's no rules about dress, but most of us have these over the.
And as you look around that gathering, you came with a specific group, right? Are you still with that group, or have you just migrated into the whole?
Yes, we're still together.
And then as you look at that group that you've come with, who are they to you? How are you guys related? What do you have in common, or?
My spiritual brothers. We all come from different places with the same story.
Oh, okay.
We all had a yearning that our families couldn't provide, that having children or having houses or having ties didn't satisfy, or we knew wouldn't satisfy. That wasn't our interest, and we found each other. We found each other one by one, and came together fairly organically. And this was happening all over. This wasn't just our group, but it was happening all over.
Mm-hmm.
That whole, many different regions, but whole region.
What's that emotion that's coming up for you right now?
Just excitement and a lack of almost like a completion to where there's been this longing, this desire, this determination, and we didn't know what it was for. And this is very clearly part of what this is for, and we're recognizing it. We're not showing our emotions in the same way as I am now.
Yeah.
We're all feeling it.
But you know the others feel the same way you do, huh?
They have to.
Yeah.
They would have to.
What's happening now?
Well, we're getting settled.
Mm-hmm.
We've already... The enlightened one was already there when we showed up, the Buddha. He was already there, but he wasn't present in his... he wasn't ostentatious. He wasn't bringing attention to himself. He was just waiting.
Did you see him?
Just, yes, but it's not... It's almost like it's forming. You know, it's almost like there was a presence, and now there's a great white light, and now there's a corporeal presence, a physical manifestation of what before was just an idea or an image or something in the back of our brains. It was an idea. It was an idea, and now the idea has been solidified into something that's physical.
Interesting. And what do you notice about that being now that he's physical? Or is it a he, or?
Yes, but he's not, it's a shifting. It's a shifting, and it's a fluidity of consciousness, to where I'm able to see a projected form, a very clear physical form, but within it there's any aspect of any humanity one could that would be useful to somebody. Any aspect that needs to come out is what we're seeing. And so I'm getting the impression that we each may be seeing this, but we may be seeing something slightly different. It's catered to us.
That sounds amazing. What are you getting from your gazing upon this being?
Well, I've never experienced anything like it before. I've had the moments of contemplation with my brothers and self-contemplation, but I've never had an experience quite this out of time, out of space. It's interesting. We're murmuring, but the murmuring is dying down as we come to realize that something's beginning.
So something's about to start now, huh? So it sounds like... Oh, go ahead.
Yes, he's starting to talk. He's telling us something about this place. I can't say the words, but he's telling us something about this place. Something about what we had to do to get here. And something's very there's a contrast. There's something that's like a tear. It's like a tear, and it's like pulling back a veil. It's not visual, but it's mental. And so we experience this pulling back of the veil, and it's not 100% comfortable.
Oh, does it hurt? Is it painful?
No, it's not physically uncomfortable, but it's an ego. The ego, it's very similar to working in this state, to where the ego has to just step to the side. And not everybody is willing to do that. And so it's more painful and more alarming to some than others.
How are some other of the people reacting?
They're in disbelief.
Oh, okay.
They're in disbelief.
And how are you reacting?
I'm in wonder. I'm in wonder. It's like a loss, but there's more to gain with the loss than there is than just letting go.
That's beautiful, yeah. Let's see.
And so some of them just go. They just they don't leave like it's described, that they just kind of vanish. It's like they're just not in that state anymore. They're just not in that dimension. I think they're just back on the mountain. I think they just go back to the mountain.
Oh, so they kind of are just jumping in dimensions or something.
Yeah,
okay.
That's my impression.
Yeah.
Vantage, where it's like I'm staying and I'm in the dimension. I'm in the garden.
I'm
in the garden.
Beautiful. How do you feel being in the garden when others are not able to be there?
It's parallel to Garden of Eden, where it's that's what I'm getting as the representation, that it's just, nobody kicked us out, we just left. And it wasn't. And even that was catered to those people. Even that tear was a tear that put them on their path for a future incarnation.
Well, it sounds like a beautiful experience that you're having.
Yes, it's very different. It's very different. And he's talking, and as he's talking, his voice is gaining different dimensions, and it's shaking us.
Oh.
His voice itself is shaking us. And it's shaking away. It's shaking away those ties. It's shaking away things we don't need. And he starts to talk about the things that we can use, that we do need. He's starting to talk about the ways that we absorb information. He's talking about all the different ways that we absorb information. And even as he's talking about it, it feels like those ways are expanding. There's something in us. We are the plants that he's talking about. We are the plants in the garden. And it's like he's the water.
Oh.
It's like the water. And it's just nourishing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And cleansing. It's so cleansing. It's just his voice. It's so loud and it reaches all of us. And I can see the light. I can see the light in his forehead. And I can see the light. It's the same light. It's the same light. And just as much as we're able to open to it, it's open to us.
And are you opening under that gaze and his voice?
Not any more than I was, but I'm just, it's a interesting test in capacity. I can see it in all the different dimensions and not just that incarnation, but in this incarnation too, to where there's a capacity. That capacity is always just being wedged just a little bit more open. And that's a little bit too much. It's more like the tear, or it's too much. So it's just coming just exactly as we need it. And we're absorbing it as those plants, just exactly the amount of water we need without too much. We're just taking what we need.
So you only take in as much as you need and you can absorb.
Yeah, that's the metaphor. That's the lesson. And that's what we're experiencing. I think we're all kind of experiencing it. So I look around and I see us in our same positions, and we're people, but we're plants. We're each a different plant.
Oh, tell me about that.
So that's space. It's just how everybody's just a little bit different. It's just like if you look at a landscape or a garden, there's taller plants, there's shorter plants, there's wider plants, and just like it says in the text.
Yeah. What kind of plant are you?
Oh, I don't know the name.
Okay.
It's a plant from my village. Just a plant.
All right.
They're all just common to the area.
Beautiful. Is there anything else in this scene that you notice or you want to point out?
No, that's all I'm getting right now.
Okay, well, let's do this. You're doing beautifully. Let's close out that scene. And I want you to move, drift, and float to another significant event in the life of that monk that we are viewing. And now we have moved. Now you have arrived. Tell me, what's happening?
There's another shift. And so it's shaking and shaking. And there's a vertical tear. It's a vertical light coming from the bottom of the vision to the top of the vision. And it's a it's like an obelisk. It's the treasure tower, but it looks a little more like an Egyptian obelisk.
Mm.
And it's jeweled, but there's more to it. It's a text. There's words on it. There's symbols on the tower.
Do you recognize those symbols?
They look Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very Egyptian to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe even a precursor to what we think of as hieroglyphics.
Mm-hmm. And then you said it's got jewels on it as well?
Yes, it's much like it's described, but there's more detail that I can see if I'm feeling with my heart, and I feel the treasure tower. It has these symbols on it. And now it's like my body. The treasure tower is a template, and it's overlaying my body.
Oh.
And so my feet are the bottom, and my head's in the middle, and there's more of my body that goes up. And then the treasure tower. And it's very centered. It makes one feel very centered.
I was just going to ask you how it feels.
Yes, it's as if the lower worlds and the higher worlds, they are in this body.
Sounds kind of like alignment.
Yes, it is alignment. It is. That's what all of it is. They're showing me how that is the Merkaba. They're showing me how that is the spaceship.
Mm.
It's intense, and I don't. They're showing me some shapes.
What kind of shapes?
Triangles.
Okay.
Well, triangles. Everything is angular. Well, not everything. There's circles too, but everything is significant based on the angles.
Are you looking at the body in particular, or are you just looking at all of creation? Or
I'm in the treasure tower. I am the treasure tower.
Uh-huh.
I'm experiencing my body as alignment, and my body as a human as being extremely powerful. And so I'm seeing how the lower worlds mixed with the higher worlds create this Merkaba, this power, this shape, this alignment, this potential, this spaceship. It's how we travel. It's how many beings travel, but humans are special, and we're special because our bodies are our spaceships. There's so much power once we realize that. Once we realize the power of physicality, and stop trying to relegate it to the extra-dimensional. The power of extra-dimensionality is in the physical. The physical is just this small part. It's just one part. The extra dimensions are here. The physical realm is it's a powerful place because we can apply. This is where we apply all of the other theory. Potential until we manifest it here in physical reality.
Nice.
And so we're realizing this individually and as a collective as we go through this ceremony. And so that's what the ceremony in the air is. That's where when we realize, as we realize, and every time we realize, it's representative. happening all the time. It's happening everywhere. And it's each moment of realization. It's
Each moment. Oh, go ahead. Each moment of realization is when your body aligns with the treasure tower, and
yeah, and it's the ceremony in the air.
oh, beautiful.
When we can relax into it, when we can align, then we have that power. And there's different levels of it.
Tell me about that.
Well, I'm experiencing them now.
Okay.
So you can experience your regular physical form and not be conscious, not, just be in the world of animality. And then humans have it's almost a responsibility or task or test or voyage, or, we have this determination that's more than that, to where we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to do something different, not live on a pattern that's mindless. We want to be we want to be conscious creators. And so there's different levels to that. There's the realization that we can do it. There's the practice of doing it. There's people that have practiced doing it for many decades. There's people that just live in alignment. And the more you live in alignment, the more in lower dimensions and the more higher dimensions you can integrate and process without having that ego get in the way, you out of that realm. And so the more practice we have, the more acts of dedication and determination we make. The more we do, the more we think. And ultimately, it's not about doing, it's about relaxing into, but it's the practice that helps that.
And how do we practice? Or how do you practice?
Well, in this life, I would chant. In that life, we did body movements. It was more like yoga. Physical. And I think that's what they're guiding Julia to do, is to do more physical movements and relax into that space where she's aligned and she knows her body is the treasure.
Beautiful. Am I talking to Julia's Buddha nature right now?
Yeah, it's a part of it. It has a broader perspective.